So next one is multiplication of two 16-bit numbers. So let us write the program. The first line is assume CS code comma ds colon data. So now let us start data segment. Now let us consider three variables. One is n1, n2 and n3. n1, n2 for the two numbers which we want to multiply. Those are 16-bit. So let us define them as define word. The value are 4343h, 6767h. Now when you multiply these two 16-bit numbers, the answer size will be 32-bit, right? If we are multiplying a 16-bit with a 16-bit, you will be getting 32-bit number, right? So for that I am going to define this entry as double word. Define double word. So as of now I am loading with question mark. Later after getting the result, we can replace this question mark with the result. This is the end of this logical segment. And as next code segment, let us start with a variable or label, start. Now you need to write these two lines always if you want to use data segment in the code segment, right? So now we need to load these two numbers into ax and bx. Move ax comma n1, move bx comma n2. Now you can use the multiplication instruction. Here you need to concentrate on MUL, because MUL is require only one operand, that is source operand mul bx. The destination operand, that is ax, which is implicit operand for this mul bx. So for mul instruction you need not to write the ax. Always this mul bx is nothing but the result ax bx will be multiplied and the result will be stored back to ax. But here one more important point: when you multiply two 16-bit, the answer will be 32-bit. So the lower word of this 32-bit, lower word of the result will be stored to ax, and the higher word will be stored to dx. Okay, when you multiply these two, you will be getting a 32-bit number. This 32-bit number is divided into two parts: lower word and higher word. Lower word will be stored to ax and higher word will be stored to dx when this particular instruction is executed. So here you need to remember one point: you need not to mention like this mul ax comma bx. Simply you can write mul bx, where ax is an implicit operand, right? Mul bx. So now the result is available at ax and dx, which is lower word, higher word, right? Now you need to load this lower word at n3 and higher word also at n3. That means the starting address of the result is n3. So the starting address is n3 will be loaded. You need to load the starting address with al, then n3 plus 1. Let us indicate it as a memory location. n3 plus 2. n3 plus 1 must be loaded with ah. Then n3 plus 2 dl, n3 plus 3 must be loaded with dh. This thing we need to do, right? Here actually instead of n3 we have to use the address of this n3. Okay, you cannot use n3 directly. For that you need to know the value of this particular n3. For that you can use load effective address of n3 into source index. Then you can use this move operation, move the content AL to SI location. Then sorry, AX, simply you can use AX, so that the SI will be loaded with AL, SI plus 1 will be loaded with AH. Okay, then next location is SI plus 2, that is DX. Okay, with the help of these two lines, these 4 lines will happen. I mean, these 4 lines will be executed. The n3 location will be loaded with AL, n3 plus 1, AH, n3 plus 2, DL, n3 plus 3 with DH, right? So now you can close this into 3H, the debug breakpoint, then code end as end of the code logical segment, then end of the program, which is started with label start and start, right? So when you multiply these two, obviously you will be getting some number. Because it is a large number, you cannot do the manual compilation. If you use calc, you can get the answer, and that answer will be loaded to AX and as well as DX, right? That value will be loaded at this location, and the flags will be affected are carry flag and parity flag, carry flag and parity flag, right?